Research tells us and supports the fact that within organizations, the organizational dynamics are essential to how the organization functions, not only on an ongoing basis, but the results the organization is able to acquire from whatever their objectives or business is involved in. And it has to do with the interpersonal relationships of the individuals in the organization. And many times that's dismissed as irrelevant, but it isn't. It's the most significant issue that the organization can focus on. All organizations have the wherewithal to acquire all the technological equipment they need that their competitors have. It's a level playing field in terms of technological equipment. How they're going to differentiate themselves from their competitors is how they relate and treat their people. And a study by Northwestern University of a very large number of employees and customers in 100 companies, 6,000 employees, 37,000 customers, showed that the bottom line of financial performance, as well as how people feel about the organization and how they feel about one another, is totally related to how they are dealt with by management and by their colleagues. Now, a very important aspect of this whole thing is how people are given recognition in the organization. And unfortunately, recognition is not given often as it should be. In fact, many times it is seldom given, and it may only be a year-end report where you get some feedback. And that's a much more of a canned version, and they're typically going over both your talents, and they're also commenting on weaknesses, which doesn't give the employee the kind of value and recognition that they need on an ongoing basis. Each of the 4 personality ways needs to be recognized in a way that is meaningful for that personality. Otherwise, it misses its mark. And recognition given frequently that's on target results in increased morale, increased productivity, increased value of the individual to the organization. The organized individual needs to be recognized for the contributions they make in terms of being reliable, dependable, always following through on whatever they say they're going to do, providing structure and organization for the company itself. They're almost like an anchor on a ship. They bring stability to the organization. If they're taking on a project, they will not only do it right, but they'll have it in ahead of the deadline. They are very, very responsible individuals. And they need to be recognized for those qualities and those traits. And if they're recognized for those, that even increases their productivity and their contribution to the organization. The way of recognizing the action people was a very different personality style. It's quite different. They want to be recognized for their creativity, for their ability to take risks, for their excitement and enthusiasm, their ability to kind of be out on the cutting edge, their ability to handle crises, which they're very good at. They are not necessarily people who want to plan. They're much more spontaneous. And so to allow them the opportunities in their work and in their jobs to work in these kinds of ways and give recognition for that is really very essential. And those individuals will be super productive. For relationship individuals, they need to know their value because of who they are as a person, as an individual, for their contribution to the organization in terms of morale, for relating and working well with all of their colleagues, for being very positive in all their interactions, for enthusiasm that they bring to their work environment, for excitement that they bring. Their second way will kind of dictate how they function also. If they're an action person second way, you reward them also for being risk takers and people who can work well in a crisis and people who can go out and do things that others probably haven't tried yet. If their second way is organized, then you recognize them for being reliable, dutiful, responsible, structured person that they are, which goes along with their relationship way. Because for the relationship way, in their work, they will actually function a lot in their second way when they're working alone on any kind of project. The logical way employees need to be recognized for their knowledge, for their wisdom, for their capacity to build models and designs and take large projects and solve complex problems and be very future-oriented in terms of being a visionary to bring about the possibilities of achievement for the organization that may not be seen by others in the organization. They're a very valuable commodity, and they need to be recognized for that, and they need to be recognized in the characteristics and talents that I've just mentioned, because that will give them the enthusiasm and excitement that they need to do the job well.